In this video, we're having a look at another Toyota advertised at We Buy Cars. And let me just be clear from the start, this is not a video bashing We Buy Cars. This is just how I do my research when I buy a car and when I look online. And full disclosure, I've bought 9 cars at We Buy Cars, and I was very happy with all of them, mostly. So this is not to bash them. This is to educate you if you are looking at a car at We Buy Cars. And what I've got here today is this 1989 Toyota Hilux 2.4 diesel 4x4 single cab. Now this is such a sort of the Toyota, and you can see at the price there, that's very high for something that old. I actually had a double cab of this Hilux version, but the 2.2 petrol one. But these 2.4 diesels are super rare, especially in what looks like a very good condition from the photos. But I'll show you how I think this is definitely not close to worth that. And that is where you need to be careful. And this is just my process of going through the report and screening cars before I go through the trouble of driving through 500 k's to the branch to go check it out. So this immediately caught my eye, and if this was an original 2.4 diesel 4x4 single cab, even with 300,000 k's on the clock, I think it's worth 150,000 or more. And you do see them at silly prices, and I think they'll sell. But this one I don't think is original, and let me show you why I think so. I'm not saying it isn't. You can make up your own mind. But I'm not sure if that color was available, but it doesn't matter. It looks like a clean, it looks very clean. If 300,000 K, that's nothing for a 3.4 diesel. If you look at the rev counter, it stops just after 4, or the red line starts after 4. So it is a diesel cluster there. So that's all good. Nothing funny yet. The seats look amazing. It actually looks very clean. I don't see any red flags yet. Look at that carpet there. I think, oh, it looks beautiful. Original radio, I don't know, but it looks period correct. There's the transfer case lever. Everything up to this point just looks good. And that's why it caught my attention. But wait, what's that? Turbo diesel, 2LT. Turbo. These didn't come in turbo diesels in South Africa. You can see some piping that's been rearranged. Now the big thing is, was this thing engine swapped? Because if it was, it just creates a whole bunch of potential issues, like, is the paperwork updated for the new engine? I had a look around because I don't know these engines that well. I know it's a 2L engine, but from photos that I could see online, the valve cover looks the same between the 2L, the normal 2.4 diesel, non-aspirated, non-turbo, normally aspirated engine, and then the turbo diesel. They look the same. So there is a chance that they could have fitted the turbo from the 2LT to the 2L engine. But I'm still not so sure, and I'll show you why. So that's in itself not necessarily a bad thing if it was done properly, but it's not original, and that's where the price becomes questionable. But apart from that, that was the only thing that I wondered about. So I downloaded the report, and I'm just going to show you a few photos that caught my attention. The first one, okay, obviously is the engine. Looks like a new radiator. That's good. New battery. That's also good. Doesn't look like it's been resprayed if I look at the tags there. It could have been, but if it was done well, I wouldn't really worry too much. But this... And it also says in the roadworthy relevant issues that the chassis needs repairs. Now, for how many years is that? 40-year-old car, or almost 40 years, needing chassis repairs for 150,000, I don't know. And the welding is not even that great. I can kind of weld, and even mine doesn't look this bad, and it's just been painted over. So I don't know how strong it is. Maybe it's super strong. But you can see it had a bunch of rust, and so either the engine mount broke off and they refitted it, or they swapped the engine and they had to move the engine mount. You can see something was ground off there. I don't know what happened here, but this, I don't like it. There's another photo. You can see where it was. It's definitely the engine mount that was welded in some way. Quite a lot of oil here. This just doesn't look like an original clean example of a Hilux that should be worth 150,000 Rand. And then here's the license disc, and you can check the engine number there. Now, correct me if I'm wrong and comment below, but this looks like the normal 2L engine number, not the turbo one. I don't know what the turbo engine number would have been, but if it was an engine swap and it's not on the disc, you're going to struggle to get it roadworthy. A proper roadworthy testing center shouldn't give you a roadworthy certificate if the engine number doesn't agree with the block. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't. It could, but research has to be done there. Otherwise, you could have some trouble. Let me know what you think about this one. I made a video earlier, it's 2 weeks ago, on a Prado that had its kilometers, or not say wound back, but it was, I confirmed it with Toyota that it was different from what they advertised it. And We Buy Cars responded by changing the ad to kilometers unknown. So they did respond, and I'll make a follow-up video on that. But let me know in the comments. A whole lot of people mentioned in the comments there that they turned back kilometers. And I don't know if that is true. What this just means, I had to think about this. I honestly don't think they do it on purpose. I think the company is so big, and remember, they just buy a car, they quickly inspect it and put it on the floor and don't drive it. So I think there's a risk for them as well, because if it's found out, like that Prado, for instance, suddenly it's not worth what they thought it is, and they didn't price that in when they bought it. So the previous owner could have been dishonest, or it was just hidden or unknown. So I just think the solution is for them to do their homework better so that the buyers don't have to do that. But if you educate yourself and you do your homework, at least you won't end up with something that is worth less than what you paid for. Anyways, that's just a short little video on the stuff that I look for when I see cars online. And just a special thank you for these awesome patrons, my first 5. I really appreciate the support. And if you want to become a patron, you can scan the QR code that appears on the screen now, or check the link in the description. Otherwise, just like, share, subscribe. If you're watching this on TV, subscribing, please go check if you subscribed. It really makes a big difference. I appreciate it, and it's free. But anyways, let me know what you think about this Hilux, and if you have seen any dodgy things while you browse cars online anyway. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.